Hello, my name is Avery Howard. I'm the Vice President of the Australian Unemployed Workers Union and I'm a job seeker recipient. 5 years ago, the government made a decision that would change the lives of many Australians. Scott Morrison announced that his government would be implementing the coronavirus supplement, a $550 per fortnight payment that acknowledged to the millions of people on job seeker, youth allowance, and some other payments that the base rate is not enough to survive on. Overnight, they passed legislation that would bring this bill in. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Overnight, they passed legislation that would bring this bill in and showed to us that it could be done if they wanted to. They were just choosing not to. As many people will end up saying today, the supplement. What was I saying? Sorry. Uh, as many people will end up saying today, why? Sorry. The supplement. As many people will end up saying today, supplement was a beacon of hope. The value that it brought to so many lives is being felt even now, many years after it was scrapped. People were able to, well, people were able to eat better, pay for their necessary medications and healthcare costs, and even pay for the bills, pay their bills. The relief that it brought to the communities was immediate. Um, sorry, the relief that it brought to the communities that it was given to was immediate. When it was taken away, it felt like a slap in the face. Uh, that they were so quickly able to put something on the table, but then so quickly able to take it away. With the fourth budget from this government being handed out today, sorry, with the fourth budget from this government being handed down today, they have shown us time and time again that it is their decision to keep us in poverty. They are doing this in the name of a responsible budget, but there is nothing ever responsible about keeping people in poverty. Next, I will be handing it over to Fiona Moore.
Hi there, I'm Fiona Moore. I'm a disability pension recipient and from the Nobody Deserves Poverty campaign. So the coronavirus supplement in 2020 showed us that governments can choose to lift people out of poverty overnight. With the supplement, people are happier and healthier, able to buy fruit and vegetables, able to pay for medical costs, able to look after themselves and their families. Many were actually able to find work in this time because they didn't have that added stress of surviving in poverty. Keeping people in poverty is unnecessary, and subsidies and the like are no substitute for giving people the cash to support themselves and to meet their needs. It shouldn't take a crisis to lift people out of poverty. Current rates of welfare are all well below the poverty line, and the government has the opportunity to do something. They could do that something today. As we approach the budget, we implore the government to do something about to raise the rate of welfare above the poverty line across the board, from pensions to job seeker, youth allowance. All payments need to be lifted above the poverty line, and the government could do that next week. In the above of the budget, they could announce it. They could pass it if they wanted to. They can pass whatever they want when they want to. They showed us that just before Christmas when they rushed through some bills that needed more consultation, but they did that anyway. And also to the crossbench, the prospective crossbench, to anyone who's a prospective crossbencher, to the opposition, we also want you to think about what you can do for your communities in the event that you've got the balance of power. Do you want your communities to thrive? Doing that by raising the rates of welfare, you could lift it from the bottom up. You could support pensioners, you could support job seekers, you could support students to be able to live and to thrive, and your communities want that. All right, so David.
Uh, Hello, my name is Jaden. I'm a member of the Anti-Poverty Network Queensland and a recipient of the Disability Support Pension. So whilst I did not receive the coronavirus supplement back in 2020, a lot of our membership did, and we've also had many conversations with the general community, who were on the payment, who got the raise. And the main feeling we got from the community was relief. For the first time, people no longer had to choose between rent or paying car rego. For the first time, parents did not have to skip meals in order to put food on the table for their kids. Um, but as well as this, the another really big sense we got was fear, and fear that it was going to be taken away, which of course it was. Um, Look, the fact that we got a raise at all, let alone by the Morrison government, just shows that, to both major parties, they know that not only job seeker but all Centrelink payments are simply not enough for people to live on, and the fact that they then cut it back again just shows how callous our welfare system is, and shows, it's currently in its form not meant to help people who need it, but is meant to, punish people and strip away their dignity further. I just want to finish by saying that, at least personally, I think it is a disgusting joke, and disgusting and abhorrent that we have a prime minister who boasts about growing up in public housing and won't even lift a finger to help those who are struggling. I am now going to be handing over to Elise.
Morning, I'm Associate Professor Elise Klein from the Crawford School of Public Policy at the Australian National University. The research has been quite strong and shows that this period in public policy was one of the most significant anti-poverty moments in recent policy history. The significance of these measures, the raise in payments, and also the suspension of mutual obligations, made a huge difference in people's lives. Research shows that household poverty rates fell from 67% folks on JobSeeker down to 7% because of these measures. Also, the suspension of mutual obligation gave people time back, and they were able to engage more. People were able to engage more with the labour market, undertake with a bit more ease all the unpaid care work people are doing, and it made dramatic, significant difference in people's health, including mental health, and their ability to meet basic needs. And after this period, the government took it all away. And now we're in a situation, as you're hearing, where it's even worse going back to the start, because we know how, in this country, poverty is a policy choice. I'm going to hand over to May.
Hi, I'm May Azizi from Anglicare Australia. One of the things that's really frustrating for us is that the government talks about poverty in Australia like it's a mystery, like it's something that's beyond their control, like it's complicated to solve. 5 years ago, the federal government showed that it could fix poverty overnight by raising the rate of these payments. And for the first time, people who we worked with were able to afford the food that they wanted to eat without having to worry and think about it. People were able to move out of boarding houses into real rentals. People were able to pay their bills on time. Some people were even able to save a bit of money for the future and plan for the future. And people didn't have to, people were able to take care of their families and go about their lives without having the system hassle them, as it so often does. I mean, I think what this really shows is it shouldn't take a natural disaster to suspend mutual obligation arrangements, and it shouldn't take a pandemic to raise the rate of these payments. The government knows what it needs to do to end poverty, and it can do it again. I'll hand over now to Kristen.
Thank you. Hi folks, my name is Kristen O'Connell. I'm a spokesperson for the Anti-Poverty Centre, and I'm a disability support pension recipient. And also at the period where the COVID supplement was announced, I was a spokesperson for the Australian Unemployed Workers Union. So that's the context that I have for this moment in time. When Scott Morrison announced that JobSeeker payments and other Centrelink payments would be increased by $275 a week, there was an outpouring of relief and also rage from welfare recipients who were suddenly shown that it is easy to instantly increase their well-being, increase their security, and increase their prospects for a good life. During the time of the COVID supplement being in place, people improved their health.
They were able to pursue education. They were able to make themselves more useful in their communities and do things that satisfied them and others around them. People were able to support each other and engage in community care in ways that they can't when they're living in deep poverty. There is no one at the moment living on a Centrelink payment that is adequate. All of us are struggling, and for many of us, we are struggling far more than we were 3 years ago. We were promised no one left behind, and today the government is insulting welfare recipients with a so-called increase of a couple of dollars a week. At the same time they shove this down our throats, we are standing here remembering that it has been 5 years since people were promised a better life. And so today we are once again begging the government to do something meaningful in the budget next week. Don't give us more no interest loans. Don't give us more paltry energy bill relief payments. It's useless. It doesn't help. We need serious increased Centrelink payments for the long term. There's actually one really important thing I want to add that I forgot, sorry. 1 in 5 adult suicides in this country are people on the job seeker payment. 14% of adult suicides are people on the disability support pension. It is a choice of life and death. The government is choosing to accept the deaths of people in poverty for political ends. It's unacceptable, and people are feeling very hopeless, and we just really beg the Prime Minister and the Treasurer to stand up and do something. Alrighty, I think that's all of us. So thanks for your patience, folks. Thank you. Oh, we did it. Lily's got the photo. Oh yeah, Lily, do you want to get photos if you didn't already? Maybe closer in ones. Someone's got a spare poster. Yeah, great. Yeah.